Today we're going to learn what slurs and ties are, and so far up to this point everything that we've played has been a single stroke, either down bow or up bow. So now with slurs we're actually going to combine two notes into the same bow, and it's basically just a phrasing thing that's going to make certain pieces sound just a little bit better. So the way it's written in music is just like this. So we have two quarter notes, and then as you see below there's like a little arc line which is indicating the slur. So it's saying that these two notes will be slurred together. Now in Violin Tutor Pro you will see the two notes D2, D1 with the same similar arc below. Now a tie is when you're slurring two of the same notes together, which would be basically the same way, over here it'd be D2 and D2, and that's going to be the same as adding the notes together. So if you if you have a tie between two of the same quarter notes, it's going to be just like playing a half note. So a lot of times you're going to see slurs with different notes. So 3 songs that have some slurs in them for the first time. The first one's going to be the Rocking Boat. So we're going to start off, and as you can see in the music below, it's not actually an arc, but it's more of a straight line. So the first two notes are going to be slurred together, D1 and D2. So you're going to play from about here on the bow to right about here. That's going to be the first note. Now a lot of people, what they do is they go too far with the first note of the slur. They go, and then they don't have room for the second one. Run out. So you have to make sure you sustain enough to where the next note's being started right about here. So let me slur the first two notes together. I'm going all the way to the tip. And then the same thing's going to happen going the other direction. You're going to play up to about right here, and then the next note's going to be till here. So here's an up bow slur. It's like that. Alright, so the Rocking Boat, you're slurring D1, D2, and then you're slurring D3, D4, and then you're slurring D4, D3, and then slurring D2, D1. And then you have a half note for 2 beats. 1, 2, and then D4 for 2 beats. And as you can see also after that there'll be a repeat, but we don't have to do the repeat right now. Let's do that whole song from top to bottom. Great, so that was the Rocking Boat. Next one we're going to do is called Note Connection. So now we're going to have some notes are going to be slurred and some are not. So that's pretty typical actually. You're not going to have like the whole song slurred most of the time like we did in the last one. So Note Connection, we got D0, D1 slurred, D1 for 2 beats, 1, 2, now D1, D2 slurred, D2 for 2 beats, D2, D3 slurred, D3 half note, 1, 2, D3, D2, D2 for 2 beats. Now we have a bunch of quarter notes that are not slurred. So we got D0, D1. Now we have 2 slurs, D0, D1, D1, D0, 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 one more. Great, let's try that one from top to bottom without stopping. Like that. Alright, so now we're going to have the third one, which is going to be split slurs. Let's try this. So, first one's going to be D0, D2 slurred, then D0, quarter note not slurred, D2, I'll pivot over the A for 2 beats, 1, 2, A3 for 2 beats, 1, 2, now A0, A1 slurred, A2, A3, these are separate. Now A4, A2, this will be a little bit more tricky. make sure that you play these in tune, A4, A2, and then right next to that will be your 3 for 2 beats. So I think that last measure there in split slurs will probably be the hardest part, or your intonation, where your fingers are going, might be a little bit off. So make sure that you keep your hand down nice in position. Alright, let's do split slurs, top bottom. Alright, so you will see slurs quite often. Ties not quite as much, but make sure that you do them correctly, because if you don't, your bowing is going to be backwards. So if you do 2 notes that are supposed to be slurred and you don't slur them, then your bowing will be the other direction instead of going down bow or up bow. So very good. So work on these 3 songs, and then you can go on to the next lesson.